In the bustling heart of the city, where neon lights hid secrets better than darkness ever could, lived a man named Victor Is. To the world, Victor was charming, successful, and generous. He owned properties, drove expensive cars, and never missed an opportunity to help the poor. At least, that was what people saw. But behind closed doors, Victor belonged to something far older and far more dangerous. He was deeply rooted in the occult, not the kind people joked about, not rumors, not superstition, real power, dark power. Victor married a gentle and kind woman named Ada. She was everything he wasn't, pure-hearted, hopeful, and deeply loving. Ada believed she had found the perfect man, and for a while it felt like heaven. They laughed together, traveled, shared dreams, but one thing remained missing: a child. Every time Ada got pregnant, something strange would happen. Miscarriage. Again, and again, and again. Ada wept countless nights, blaming herself, visiting hospitals, praying quietly in her room. Victor, however, never seemed surprised. Unknown to Ada, Victor wasn't unlucky. He was responsible. Each pregnancy wasn't failing, it was being taken. In secret rituals performed at midnight, Victor would offer the unborn child to the dark forces that sustained his wealth and power. The sacrifices strengthened him, expanding his influence and securing his riches. To him, it wasn't evil, it was necessary. Everything in this life has a price, he would whisper during rituals. And Ada was unknowingly paying it. Everything began to change when Ada's childhood friend, Chioma, came to stay with them. Chioma had just returned from a difficult season in her life, but something about her was different. She had found faith. She had become deeply devoted to church, prayer, and spiritual discipline. At first, Ada didn't think much of it, but Chioma insisted gently. Let's pray together. Just small prayers. God listens. Ada, desperate for a child and peace, agreed. The atmosphere in the house began to change. Slowly, subtly, Chioma would wake up at midnight, not for rituals, but for prayer. Soft whispers of worship filled the air. At first, Victor ignored it. Then, he started feeling uncomfortable, restless, agitated. The night he attempted his next ritual, something went wrong. For the first time in years, it failed. The altar rejected the sacrifice. The unseen forces were silent. Victor panicked. Ada became pregnant again. But this time, something was different. She felt peace, strength, no strange pains, no fear. Victor, on the other hand, was terrified. He tried everything: rituals, incantations, offerings. Nothing worked. It was as if something invisible stood between him and the unborn child. A shield he couldn't break. One night, Victor overheard Chioma praying. Not softly, but with authority. With the power of God, no evil shall touch this womb. Every dark plan is destroyed. Victor froze. For the first time in his life, he felt fear. Real fear. He confronted Ada angrily. What is your friend doing in this house? Ada, shocked, replied. She's praying for us, for our child. Victor shouted, but deep down, he knew. The power he had relied on all his life was being challenged, and it was losing. Victor became desperate. His wealth began to slip. Business deals failed. Connections disappeared. The very forces that once empowered him now turned silent, even hostile. Without sacrifices, he was nothing. One night, consumed by rage and panic, Victor stormed out of the house. Rain poured heavily as he drove recklessly through the dark streets. His mind was collapsing. Voices. Fear. Loss. Then, a blinding light. A loud crash. Silence. Victor died in a terrible motor accident that night. Just like that. No ritual could save him. No power could protect him. Months later,
Welcome to the world, little one.